Sandra Smith, the host of the Everyday Gourmet, the little cooking show doing great big things with food. Today we're going to make one of my favorite meals, cornbread, salmon, and wilted spinach. I was just going to do the cornbread, but when I thought about it, man doesn't live by bread alone, so let me put something with it. Let me start by telling you I put 2 boxes of your favorite quickie kind of corn muffin mix into this bowl. To that, I'm going to add a tablespoon of baking powder. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of flour and 2 tablespoons of sugar. And you're just going to toss that together real quick. And you'll need a smaller bowl as well. Just kind of incorporate those. Now, into the smaller bowl, I'm going to put 1 can of creamed corn, I've got 3 beaten eggs, a half a cup of your favorite shredded cheese. I like the Mexican blend, but you can use any blend that you like. 1 stick of melted butter. Oh, did I tell you? This is not one of those low-fat, low-calorie foods. It's got all the bad stuff in it. And to that, I'm going to add 8 ounces of sour cream. Told you. Okay. Now we're going to stir those wet ingredients together. The reason I've separated the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients is that once you combine your wet and dry ingredients, your chemical reactions start occurring, and those are the things that make the bread rise. Well, we don't want it to start rising until we put it into the oven. Otherwise, you'll end up with flat bread once it heats up. So just stir that up until it's real incorporated. And then you're just going to take this and dump it into your dry ingredients. And I've discovered that it's less messy this way, instead of putting the dry into the wet. And then you want to mix it together. And whenever you're making bread products, you don't want to mix them too much because you don't want your breads to be kind of chewy. So get good stirs in there and fold them in real good, but try not to overdo it. The minute it looks like everything's incorporated, you're finished. And usually that's, see, I still have some dry stuff on the bottom, so it's not quite finished. Okay. All right. That part is done. Now what you need to do is you have your oven preheated to 350 degrees. I have a 13 by 9 inch pan that I have sprayed with Pam spray right here. And I'm going to pour cornbread right in. I initially got this recipe from one of my church members who brought it to a potluck. And people used to always talk about this young lady's cornbread being the best cornbread they've ever tasted. And it was delicious. Well, I took it home, analyzed it, added a couple of my own ingredients, and now mine is the best cornbread anybody's ever tasted. So there, you're just going to kind of smooth it out. Sometimes I put jalapeno peppers on top of the cornbread just for some variety, but I'm not going to do that today. And we're going to put this in the oven and bake it for approximately 45 minutes until it's a nice golden brown color. We're going to put this in the oven now. Okay, 45 minutes later, and through the magic of the internet, we've got a pan of cornbread already ready. Look at that. Beautiful and golden brown. Set that aside for a little while. You don't want it to set too long because it really tastes good warm. So we're going to leave that alone, get started with the salmon, then we'll come back to it. Start that barbecued salmon now. I'm going to do it on an indoor grill that I've already preheated and sprayed with cooking spray to keep it from sticking. I've got 2 tablespoons of melted butter in a bowl. I'm going to add my favorite store-bought barbecue sauce. And if you were making a lot of salmon, I would use the whole bottle, but we're only going to do 2 fillets. Add that, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice and a tablespoon of soy sauce. And I try to use the light soy sauce, cut down on that sodium. Real easy, just stir that together and try not to make a mess. I don't know why this butter's not getting incorporated. Come on. Okay, then what you're going to do is you want to dip your fillets. I've got some beautiful salmon fillets here. And you're going to dip them in your marinade and let them sit at room temperature for about 15 minutes. So I need another plate. Alrighty, so I'm going to take my fillets and I'm just going to kind of drop them in my sauce. Make sure it's covered front and back. And then I'm going to put them over here. Let's do the other one. And it doesn't matter what kind of barbecue sauce you start with. I like mine kind of sweet, so I usually get the kind that has honey in it. And all you're going to do from time to time, just make sure you go over it with a basting brush to make sure that there's plenty of sauce on it and turn it over. Okay, so that's going to sit at room temperature for about 15 minutes. So we're going to wait for the grill to heat up, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're ready to put our salmon on the grill, and we're going to put it skin side down. I mean, meat side down, skin side up. It's going to take you about 15 minutes or so. You want to get good grill marks. Your flesh is well cooked. So you can usually check it just by testing it with a fork. So we're going to do that. Let it sit there for a few minutes, and we'll come back to our salmon in just a second. Let's head on over to the stove and get started on our wilted spinach. Okay, now we're going to make a really fast, really good vegetable, and it is wilted spinach. I'm going to start with some plain old olive oil, and you want this in a very hot saucepan. I'd say about 2 tablespoons, and about a tablespoon of garlic. I am a big fan of this already chopped garlic. Everything save time is my friend. You don't want that in there too long because garlic will burn on you. To that I have a bag of fresh baby spinach. Put the spinach in there. This, my son thinks this is like a magic trick. Because you start out with all these leaves, and the water cooks out of the spinach, and it cooks down. So once you get the spinach in there, carefully just kind of scoot it around in the pan, flipping it around. You want to keep it moving, especially because you've got that garlic in there. You didn't see that? Try to keep it in the pan. See, it's starting to cook down. We're about halfway through now. It's nice and soft and squishy. Now, actually, I usually like my vegetables a little more firm to the bite. Spinach is the only one that I'll eat that's kind of soft. This is where my son DJ gets excited. Where'd it go? Okay, your spinach is finished. Now I'm going to plate it up. So I think our salmon is just about ready. This smells so good. The garlic. You know what I forgot to do, people? I forgot to season this. We're going to start all over again. Okay. Then you're going to add some salt and pepper to taste. Happens to the best of us. And a couple sprinkles of sea salt. There you go. Now we're ready to plate your spinach. Let's see. Okay. And I'm going to put a big old piece of cornbread on this plate. Chandra's world's famous, absolute best cornbread in the world. Slice it. Now, because it's so rich, you really don't need to put butter on top of it. But if you're going to indulge, you might as well go all the way. And as you can see, it makes a nice amount, so I guess you could share a little bit with your neighbors. Okay. Now let's go get some salmon and our plate will be finished. Okay, I had turned the salmon over and it's got beautiful grill marks on. Look at that. And the way you tell fish is done is it flakes easily with your fork, which it does. So that, my good friends, is finished. We're just going to slide that onto our plate here. I wish you could smell this. This smells so incredibly good. I've got to taste it. Just a little piece of salmon. Oh my goodness. Salmon is my absolute favorite fish. It's so good. So easy, so versatile. Goes with everything. While I'm at it, let's try the spinach too. Best spinach ever. And you've got to see the cornbread. Look at this. Look at the flakes of corn. Remember all the butter, the sour cream, the cheese. I'm happy. I've finished stuffing my face now. Thank you for joining me for the Everyday Gourmet. I'm Chandra Smith. And remember, Psalms 34:8 says, "Taste and see the Lord is good." Catch me next time.